You'd be amazed what's sitting in your kitchen right now while you're out looking for relief somewhere else. For over 30 years, Dr. Catherine Harlow, an integrative wellness specialist from Oregon, has seen thousands of patients come through her clinic with the same story. Endless joint pain, stiffness that won't go away, inflammation that seems immune to prescriptions, and a growing sense of frustration. But one simple discovery changed the way she approaches pain. A natural remedy combining just 2 humble ingredients, castor oil and fresh garlic, not as a supplement, not taken by mouth, but used topically, like a homemade healing compress. The results? Within just 7 days, patients began reporting reduced swelling, improved flexibility, and in some cases, a return to everyday activities they thought they had lost forever. One of those patients, Lorraine, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Kansas City, had struggled for years with arthritis in her hands. On day 7 of the treatment, she called Dr. Harlow in tears, joyful tears. "I just opened a jar of pasta sauce by myself. First time in 5 years. My hands are back." In today's video, you'll discover why the combination of castor oil and garlic works better than you'd expect, what to expect day by day in your first 7 days using this method, and how to safely create your own healing compress at home, without pills, without prescriptions, and without side effects. If you've been living with chronic pain, joint stiffness, or inflammation that's kept you from doing the things you love, this might be the turning point you didn't know you needed. Type "I'm ready" in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. Because sometimes healing doesn't come from something new, but from something ancient that Lorraine's story might sound too good to be true. After all, how can a jar of oil and a crushed clove of garlic do what years of painkillers couldn't? But once you understand the science behind this remedy and how naturally your body responds to it, everything begins to make sense. Let's begin with castor oil. This thick, golden oil has been used for generations, from ancient temples in Egypt to kitchen cabinets in small-town America. What makes it unique is a compound called ricinoleic acid, which makes up nearly 90% of castor oil's composition. This powerful anti-inflammatory doesn't just sit on your skin like a lotion. It penetrates deeply into muscle and connective tissue, reaching the very places where pain and stiffness settle in. Think of your joints as a house. Most creams knock politely on the front door. Castor oil, it has a key. It goes right in and gets to work, softening tissues, reducing swelling, and boosting circulation where it matters most. Now let's take a closer look at garlic. Simple? Yes. But inside each clove is allicin, one of the most potent natural antibiotics and anti-inflammatory agents found in nature. When garlic is crushed, allicin is released, and that's when the magic begins. This compound has been shown to combat bacterial infections, support circulation, and reduce inflammation at a cellular level. So, what happens when you combine the two? That's where things get really interesting. The castor oil acts as a natural delivery system, like a gentle messenger, carrying the garlic's healing compounds deep beneath the skin, right into the tissues where they're needed most. It's a targeted approach. And for those dealing with joint pain, stiffness, or swelling, that precision can make all the difference. While over-the-counter painkillers can be helpful, they often just turn down the volume on your body's alarm system. They muffle the pain, but the root cause remains. This remedy, however, supports your body in actually addressing the source of the discomfort. It doesn't just silence the symptoms. It encourages resolution from the inside out. Now, if you've been waking up with aching knees or your hands don't seem to grip like they used to, you're not alone. Maybe you've had to give up gardening, cancel walks with friends, or avoid opening jars because of the pain. It's frustrating, it's isolating, and it's not how life after 60 should feel. But here's the truth. Your body hasn't given up on you. It may be slower to respond, and it may have endured a lot, but it still knows how to heal. Sometimes, all it needs is a little help from something gentle, familiar, and wise. It's never too late to begin again, even if your journey to relief starts with something as simple as a tablespoon of oil and a crushed clove of garlic. Because healing doesn't always require a prescription. Sometimes, the most powerful medicine comes from what we've known all along. Have you ever tried a home remedy passed down through your family? Something that seemed too simple to work? Until it did? Tell us in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you're enjoying this video so far, we'd be honored if you gave it a thumbs up, shared it with someone you care about, and hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to explore together, and your support helps us bring these forgotten remedies back to life. Day 1. A warmth. I haven't felt in years. Last night, I wasn't expecting anything. If I'm being honest, I agreed to try the castor oil and garlic compress, mostly because my granddaughter seemed so hopeful about it. I didn't want to disappoint her. She helped me apply it to my knees. Both of them ache most days, but especially when I first get out of bed in the morning. We followed Dr. Oz. Harlow's instructions carefully, just 1 crushed clove of garlic mixed with a little bit of thick golden oil, warmed slightly, then pressed into a piece of cotton and laid gently on my skin. What happened next was unexpected. About 10 minutes after we applied the compress, I started to feel this soft warmth spreading beneath my skin. Not burning, not tingling, just gentle. Like someone was holding my knee in their hands with care. I closed my eyes and almost forgot about the pain. I slept better than usual. It wasn't perfect, but I didn't wake up from the aching like I normally do. And this morning, as I swung my legs out of bed, I noticed something that surprised me. There was no hesitation, no stiffness locking up my joints before I could stand. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but tonight, I feel like something shifted. A little light at the end of a very long tunnel. It's just the first day, but for the first time in years, I feel hopeful. Have you ever felt something begin to change, even just a little, and suddenly realized you've been waiting for that feeling far too long? Tell us in the comments. And if you're following this journey day by day, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's something powerful about healing, especially when we do it together. Day 2 to 3. Is this really working? This morning I woke up and sat on the edge of the bed, just like I do every day. Except today, I didn't brace myself first. Normally, I take a second to gather the courage, knowing that first movement will send a jolt through my knees. But it didn't. Not like usual. The stiffness was there, yes, but it felt duller, like the edge of the pain had been smoothed down. It surprised me enough that I sat still for a moment, just feeling my body. And that's when I realized I hadn't taken any pain pills the night before, not because I forgot, but because I hadn't needed them. When you've lived with chronic pain for years, your mind builds routines around it. Pills at 7, cream at 10, ice by lunch. But today I didn't reach for anything. I just moved. I still didn't quite believe it, though. Part of me kept waiting for the pain to come roaring back, for the optimism to vanish like it had so many times before. But then, in the late afternoon, I opened the cabinet to grab a mug and didn't wince. That tiny movement, which always made me flinch, just happened. Smooth, normal. And in that moment, I heard myself whisper, "Is this really working?" I didn't say it out loud, not even to my granddaughter. It felt too fragile to name. But inside, a new feeling was beginning to form, one I hadn't dared to hold on to in a long time. Hope. And it didn't come from a pill bottle. It came from a few minutes each evening, a warm cloth, and the hands of someone I love helping me heal. Have you ever had a small breakthrough? A little moment that made you pause and wonder if things might finally be turning around? If so, tell us in the comments. Sometimes it's those little shifts that lead to the biggest changes. And if you're still here, following this journey, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. You might not realize it yet, but your body. Day 4 to 5, a new kind of quiet. The pain didn't disappear all at once. It simply stopped screaming. By the 4th morning, something felt quieter. That's the best way I can describe it. For years, the aching in my hands had become like background noise, always there, humming beneath everything I did. But today, it felt like someone had finally turned the volume down. My granddaughter noticed it first. I was folding towels in the laundry room, something I hadn't done in ages. Without thinking, I reached for the corners, creased them down the middle, and stacked them neatly. She just stood there watching me, smiling. I didn't even realize what I was doing until I looked down and saw the perfectly folded towels in my hands. Later that evening, I sat at my kitchen table, the one covered in old postcards and recipe clippings, and picked up a pen. I hadn't written in cursive in nearly 2 years. Not because I didn't want to, but because my fingers wouldn't cooperate. But on this day, they did. Slowly, carefully, I began writing a letter to an old friend I hadn't spoken to in over a decade. My hand was shaky, yes, but my fingers didn't lock up. There was no wincing, no breath held in anticipation of pain, just me, the pen, and the soft scratch of ink on paper. I don't know what impressed me more. The fact that I could write again, or the fact that I hadn't even realized how much I missed it until I did. Sometimes healing doesn't come as a miracle. It comes as a quiet return to the little things that made you feel like yourself. And for the first time in years, I felt like me. What's something small you used to love doing? Folding laundry, handwriting a note, gardening. That pain or stiffness took away from you. Share it in the comments below. You never know who else is reading, thinking, me too. And if you're feeling the shift, if this journey is lighting a little spark in you, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and stay with us. You're not alone in this. Day 6-7, I want more life. It started with a breeze. On the 6th morning, my granddaughter asked if I wanted to take a short walk. Nothing ambitious, just a stroll down the street, maybe to the little park 3 blocks away. I hesitated. Not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't remember the last time I'd made it more than halfway down the sidewalk without my knees tightening like locked gears. Still, something in me whispered, try. So we packed my compress away for later, laced up my old walking shoes, and stepped outside. The air smelled like fresh-cut grass in spring, and before I knew it, we were at the park gates. I had forgotten how the sun filters through tree branches, how children's laughter bounces off the pavement, how alive everything feels when you're moving through it, not just watching from a window. We sat on a bench under a sycamore tree, my hand resting lightly on my granddaughter's. She looked over and smiled. She hadn't heard this much joy in the air, or in herself, in years. The wind carried children's laughter across the grass, and the sun slipped gently between the trees. In that moment, the world wasn't spinning fast or far. It was just enough. And I heard myself say out loud without thinking, oh, sweetheart, I want to live another 10 years. Not just exist, but live. To walk, to move, to feel useful, to laugh without flinching, to hug without hesitation. That night, we did one last compress, not because I was desperate for relief, but because I had started to love the ritual. It wasn't just medicine. It had become a quiet moment of care, a gift I gave myself. It's been 7 days. And no, I'm not cured. I still have arthritis. I still move a little slower than I used to. But something has shifted, not just in my joints, but in my spirit. I don't feel stuck anymore. I feel possible. Is there somewhere you've been meaning to go? A place you've avoided because of pain, fear, or fatigue? A simple walk, a family picnic, a room you haven't danced in for years. Tell us in the comments, because maybe your day 6 is closer than you think. And if this story touched something in you, give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and pass it along to someone who needs a little hope today. Your comeback can begin with something small. By now, you might be wondering, how do I actually make this remedy at home? The good news is, it's incredibly simple. You don't need fancy tools or expensive ingredients, just a few items you probably already have in your kitchen. Here's what you'll need. 1 clove of fresh garlic, peeled and crushed. 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed castor oil. Any brand works, but organic is ideal. A piece of clean cotton cloth or flannel. An old t-shirt works perfectly. Plastic wrap or cling film. A small container or bowl for mixing. Step-by-step instructions. Crush the garlic using the flat side of a knife or a garlic press. Let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. This allows the allicin, the powerful healing compound, to fully activate. Mix the garlic with the castor oil in a small bowl. Stir gently. You don't need to heat the mixture. Your body's natural warmth will be enough. Prepare your cloth. Cut a piece about the size of your hand or a little larger. Fold it in half and spoon about a tablespoon of the mixture into the center. Let the cloth absorb the oil for a minute or 2. The goal isn't to soak the fabric completely, just enough to create a concentrated area in the middle. Remember, more oil is not better. Too much can cause leaks and skin irritation. Apply the compress directly onto the area of discomfort, your knee, lower back, hands, or shoulders. Cover the cloth with plastic wrap to hold it in place and prevent the oil from staining your clothes or furniture. Secure it gently with a soft bandage, towel, or old piece of clothing. Then relax for 30 to 60 minutes. For deeper relief, you can leave it on overnight. Storage and reuse. After each use, simply fold the cloth in half, oil side in, wrap it in plastic, and store it in a sealed container in a cool, dark place, but not the refrigerator. You can reuse the compress for up to 5 to 7 days, adding a small amount of fresh oil and garlic each time. Safety tips to keep in mind. Always do a patch test first. Try a small amount on your forearm before full use, especially if you have sensitive skin. Never apply to open wounds, broken skin, or areas with rashes. Avoid using too much oil. A light layer is more effective and less likely to cause skin irritation. If you feel any burning, itching, or discomfort, remove the compress immediately and wash the area with gentle soap and water. If you're on blood thinners or garlic sensitive, check with your doctor before using this regularly, even topically. And one final note. This is not a miracle cure, but it's a gentle, powerful reminder that your body still responds to care. This simple act, a warm compress, a quiet moment, a deep breath, can become your daily ritual of healing. Have you tried making the compress yet? What area are you treating first? Your knees, hands, or maybe your back? If you decide to try this remedy, let it be a moment of care, not pressure, a gentle beginning. And when you do, come back and tell us how it felt. What changed? Even if it was just a little. Leave a comment below. We're building something more than tips here. We're building a space where healing stories matter. If this guide helped you feel more confident, please give it a like, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to stay connected. Your day one might inspire someone else to begin too. While this remedy has shown powerful effects for joint pain and inflammation, its benefits reach far beyond knees and knuckles. Thanks to the natural compounds in castor oil and garlic, this simple combination can be adapted to support other parts of the body, especially those areas where inflammation quietly steals our comfort and energy. Neck, shoulder, and hip pain relief. Pain in the shoulders, neck, or hips often stems from deep-seated muscle tension, poor circulation, or joint inflammation. This remedy can help by delivering anti-inflammatory compounds directly to the source. How to use: apply a larger compress over the shoulder joint, lower back, or hip, depending on where the discomfort is. You may need help placing it correctly, especially on the back or hip. Leave the compress on for 30 to 60 minutes and try elevating your legs or relaxing with a warm drink to increase blood flow while it works. Why it helps? Castor oil improves circulation, relaxes tissues, and penetrates deeper layers of muscle. Garlic fights underlying inflammation and reduces oxidative stress. The combination can offer not just symptom relief, but improved mobility and function over time. Sinus congestion and inflammation. For those who suffer from chronic sinus issues, seasonal allergies, or mild sinus infections, the compress can also support nasal drainage and pressure relief. How to use: use a diluted version of the garlic castor oil blend, half the garlic amount, and apply gently along the forehead, nasal bridge, and under the cheekbones. Do not get too close to the eyes. Leave on for 15 to 20 minutes while lying back with your head slightly elevated. Why it helps? Garlic's natural antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties may reduce sinus inflammation, while castor oil helps improve lymphatic flow and circulation in the area, encouraging natural drainage and faster recovery. Digestive discomfort, bloating, and constipation. The gut and the skin are deeply connected to our inflammatory systems. Castor oil packs have long been used to stimulate digestion, relieve gas, and ease bloating, especially in holistic and naturopathic practices. How to use: prepare a warm compress with the garlic castor oil blend and apply it across the abdomen from just below the ribs to the lower belly. Cover with plastic wrap, then a towel or heating pad. Leave on for 30 to 45 minutes while resting. Why it helps? Castor oil promotes movement in the lymphatic system and may gently stimulate bowel function. Garlic's antimicrobial compounds support gut health and reduce low-grade inflammation in the digestive tract. It's not a laxative, it's a signal for your body to move naturally. Dry skin, mild rashes, or itchy patches. Both castor oil and garlic have been used for centuries in natural skincare, thanks to their moisturizing, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory properties. How to use: dilute the mixture further. 1. Crushed garlic clove to 4 tablespoons of castor oil. Apply a small amount to the affected skin using a clean cotton swab. Let sit for 10-15 minutes, then wipe off gently with a damp cloth. Moisturize with plain castor oil if needed. Why it helps. Castor oil hydrates dry skin, while garlic combats fungal or bacterial irritation. This blend can support healing in mild eczema, dry patches, or even athlete's foot when used consistently, but gently. Always do a patch test first, especially for facial skin or sensitive areas. If you notice redness or discomfort, discontinue use. A remedy you can trust, beyond just one use. Pain and inflammation don't show up in just one place, and neither should your healing. The castor oil and garlic remedy is more than just a trick for sore joints. It's a quiet way to tell your body, I'm still here, and I'm taking care of you. Which of these uses speaks to you most? Joint pain, digestion, skin, or sinus? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear how you're planning to use your first compress. And if this video is helping you reimagine your wellness routine, give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more natural ways to feel better, one small step at a time. So, what have we really learned from Eleanor's journey? That healing doesn't always come in a pill bottle or a doctor's office. Sometimes, it comes in the quiet moments. A warm cloth, a gentle hand, and 2 simple ingredients that remind your body it still knows how to heal. We saw how castor oil and garlic, when used with care and consistency, helped Eleanor ease her pain, regain movement, and most importantly, reclaim her spirit. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily, gently, honestly. And if you're living with stiffness, soreness, or a kind of pain that's worn you down over the years, maybe now is your moment to try. Try it for 7 days. Show up for yourself and see what happens. Then come back here and tell me, what did you feel? What changed for you? Even if it was just one small thing, your story might be the very encouragement someone else needs to begin. Share your experience in the comments, or just let me know what part of Eleanor's journey reminded you of your own. If this video touched something in you, please give it a like. It tells YouTube this content matters. Share it with a friend, a sibling, a neighbor, anyone who might be quietly struggling but hasn't found relief yet. Don't forget to subscribe Golden Wise Elders and turn on the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when we post new stories and natural remedies. Because next time, we're diving into something deeply needed. How to sleep deeply after 60 with just a spoonful of sea salt. Yes, really. We're building a community here, not just of viewers, but of people who believe it's never too late to feel better, move easier, and live fuller. So, thank you for being here, for giving yourself the time, for choosing hope. You're not just watching a video, you're walking toward a better version of yourself. And I'll be right here, cheering you on every step of the way.